And for our esteemed council members, we must use the tradition that has come from our ancestors. We must oppose those that pose an imminent danger to elven kind.
Enough. We have met here for over 150 years. It is time to make a decision.
The Unhuman War is a time in spelljamming lore that happened around 300 to 400 years prior to the date you start your campaign. It was a pivotal shift in the Wild Spaces hierarchy and cast the elves in a not-so-good light. And it all started with some of the oldest spelljamming colonies, the bugbears, goblins, hobgoblins, ogres, and orcs. They had started to leave their occupied spheres and take territory from the dwarves, humans, and elves. Then, this story moves to Lionheart, the elves' flagship. The elves had made the choice to not just strike, but obliterate them from Wild Space, a decision that had many detractors, but the Council of Elven Imperial Navy decided. The first decisive action happened in Gray Space, where the goblins were depopulating whole cities and raids in the region. The elves surprised the goblin fleet. The destruction was total. The fleeing ships were picked off, and those that made it back to the surface of the planets were pursued from miles above until they caught the ire of the deities. Then they finally backed off. Though, there were some goblins that didn't back down. The Battle of Coal. Captain Granick Longtooth stepped off his vessel. 24 nervous half-orcs stood behind him, ready to come to his aid.
You wish to have a parley?
There, opposite him, was Admiral Leafbower himself. Not a bad feat for what was called a runt his whole upbringing.
You have proven yourself a cunning adversary. Your hit-and-run tactics have infuriated my commanders.
Good. Now what the fuck do you want?
Stop your fighting and settle in a sphere. And don't come up, or we'll do to you what we did to Borka. Longtooth swallowed. He knew of this new weapon the elves possessed.
Fine. Piss off.
The Admiral nodded and returned to his ship. The Council's gonna be furious with you, said his underling.
I didn't say what sphere to settle on. Send him to winter space.
Longhorn took his people there and dug deep into the frigid lands of Armistice. The elves kept a tight patrol of the perimeter of the sphere. The most notorious action taken by the elves happened on Borka. It was a small planet in Gray Space, one of the last strongholds of the orcs. The elves turned their interdimensional new arcane weapon and had some assistance from their gods. A little heavy-handedness, to say the least. Some of the orcs fled, but some chose to return to the remnants of this husk of a planet as a sign of defiance. I cannot confirm or deny that I have heard from Kelvin Blackstaff Arunson himself that on Steel Star, a mammoth ship and a spelljamming army is being built by the orcs. The end of the first Unhuman Wars leaves the goblinoids in disarray, the Elven fleet as the only dominant force in Wild Space, and a new looming threat of the Illithid and Neogi rising. Do you agree with how the elves handled this? Please drop your comment below and like and subscribe for more videos. Thank you.